If you've been waiting for the next big Bitcoin move, this is your moment. BTC is perched right above the CME gap. Ethereum's running the show, and the market is coiled tighter than we've seen it in months. But here's the catch. Whichever side gets caught sleeping is going to get run over. So before we break it all down, make sure you're subscribed and drop a comment. Are you betting on a breakdown or a squeeze higher? Because this week could change. Let's start with Bitcoin. All week, Bitcoin has just been chopping sideways. Above 115,000, we are still above 115,000 at 115,726. The daily volume spike, look at that. Biggest since the last major breakout. All right, never ignore size like that. It usually means smart money is either exiting or about to make a big play. CME futures gap right here. We've been right above it all week. If 115,000 breaks, the CME gap just below it at 114,000 is in play. Think of it as a magnet for price. But if buyers step in and push us back above 118,000, bulls can flip this whole narrative fast. Ethereum is still leading. ETF flows for Ethereum continue to be green. Bitcoin had a few red days. Ethereum inflows, ETF inflows are solid. Price structure is clean. The weekly as well. Ethereum BTCs breaking out. As you can see, we're trying to stay above this 50 EMA right here on the weekly. We have broken out on that on the daily, broken above the 50 EMA and the 200 EMA, as you can see, and starting to move back up. This is Ethereum Bitcoin. But let's keep it real. Ethereum is running into resistance, as we also just saw right here. And momentum is cooling, although we are still at 73 overbought territory, according to the RSI. If Ethereum keeps leading, maybe we see altcoins catch a bid. If Ethereum breaks down, the whole risk trade cools off. I don't know that it breaks down. We could drop a bit lower, but eventually we are going to go back up. It could be some sideways chop. Think of it here before the next move up. Derivatives of the pressure cooker. Okay, Bitcoin ETFs saw their first red days, as I just showed this week, 3 days in a row red before yesterday finally turning green. But they're small outflows, as you can see, tiny. Ethereum ETFs, as we saw, are still green. Gamma exposure is pinning us between 115 to 120,000. Picture a spring coiling. Open interest and funding are neutral. That's the recipe for a fast move. If $115,000 breaks, watch for a flush. If ETF flows come back, shorts will get torched. Macro isn't a tailwind, but it's not a headwind either. Dollar sideways. Yields are ticking up a little bit, right? 10 and 5, but they're still essentially going sideways. They could pressure risk assets, so we have to keep an eye on it. US stocks are at highs, but feeling heavy. Dow Jones, NASDAQ, S&P. NASDAQ looks pretty decent. Looks like and S&P as well. So maybe not that heavy. And the VIX is at lows, which means the crowd's getting comfortable. That's when markets get mean. So just be real careful. And meme coins. Right now, the party has paused for meme coins, which for you guys that are accumulating, right? That's Megals at 0.038. That's Toshi at 3058. Probably gonna touch this 50 EMA. KeyCat lost the 50 and 200 and dropping at 0036. Dogging me, same thing. Lost the 50 and 200 for now and dropping. Probably gonna free test this line right here at 3049. Right now it's at 3054. They're all waiting for some volume. So unless you're accumulating, right, don't buy until you see a real reclaim of resistance or support. No FOMO here. And so my playbook for the week. Okay, my base case, more chop for Bitcoin between 115 to 119,000, right? As we keep going lower at where it's at 100. Today we went as low as 114.6. My bull case, ETF flows return next week. We can squeeze to 120,000 plus. My bear case, we lose 115,000 and that CME gap gets filled fast. That's my bear case, but I think that we're so close to that. That's probably going to happen. Okay, I think maybe we hit this, kind of hang out. Could be real quick. Could be just real quick. I think it probably will be real quick, and then we come back up here, and then eventually we start moving back up. Caveat: next month, August historically is a red month for Bitcoin. My eyes are glued to ETF flows and $115,000 support. That's the pivot. No FOMO, no knife catching, confirmation only. Be smart, guys. Be smart. Volatility is coming. Don't get greedy. Don't get stubborn. Protect your stack. If this gave you any edge, smash the like, subscribe, and comment below with your move for the week. Let's see who gets it right. See you in the next one. Peace.